You're what's good? This is Jay Haynes, Top Slug, Sofa King, checking in with you guys. I'm actually here just to kind of give a quick, brief description and representation, introduction, if you would say, to my channel and the things that I'm trying to do. I actually am beginning a YouTube journey myself as a content creator, as a quote unquote potential public figure. um, it's something that I've wanted to do for a while, just to kind of further my business and personal endeavors in a way where I can maximize the most out of some of the talents that I have, some of my background, some of my education, my experience, a lot of things that I want to do. A good and a quick boost and a good avenue towards them, I would say, would be to try to create a successful brand within YouTube. That's one of the main reasons why I've always wanted to kind of get into the industry, I guess you could say. It's definitely been something that I've watched. I've patronized myself. I've been a consumer. I definitely enjoy self-made content creators. I definitely enjoy homegrown, authentic content, and it's something I wanted to try my hand at myself for a while. And I've had a bunch of ideas. My background is in marketing and sales, so I've always been somewhat of an ideas person. And now I've finally got the confidence and the capability and the, I guess you could say, the platform, which is what I'm trying to build now, to fully exhibit a lot of those different ideas in a way where I can get the most out of it and also give back to the world, hopefully. Um, One of the things that kind of pushed me over the top into kind of getting into this space was my son. My young child, he's 6 years old. His name is Jackson. He actually recently let me know that he wanted to get into YouTube. Now, he wants to get into it because he's watched Ryan and a lot of the other kids that have just made pages playing video games, playing with their toys, doing reaction videos and all type of stuff, where something in him has gravitated towards that as well, which I can imagine it's the same thing that's in me, the desire, the kind of hunger to kind of create something for yourself and exhibit it to the world. And when he told me that, I was very, excited, I guess, for him. I was proud of him. Uh, he's always been a kid that is big on imagination and creativity and just personality. So I'm not surprised, and I think that is something that he definitely can excel at. And so I told myself in that moment, because I want to be somewhat different from the generations that came up before us. Um, I want to be able to kind of push my kids towards their goals early on, and as much as I can, the things they take interest in, I want to be able to nurture that interest and help develop whatever talent that they have, because also that's something that I do and I've done for other people and in other positions. So why wouldn't I do that as a father? Why wouldn't I put those skills to use? And obviously, with that being said, if I do have to create a YouTube page for him, and it's something that it's something that I have wanted to do for a long time. This is the perfect opportunity for me to do that as well, where I can create a page, a platform, a business for myself, and something that I can show the children that I've done. Look what Daddy has made, and inspire them and get all the benefit from that end. But also I can learn the game and learn the strategies that work, hopefully, to actually help him kind of flourish as well. And so when he told me that, it almost just kind of pushed me over the edge, because I think of a lot of things with a business mentality, I feel, and what can I do to get the maximum efficiency out of the effort that I'm putting out. And in a way, that's what Slug Nation, that's what slugging is about, right? Like, It's not about being lazy. It's not about having a poor work ethic. It's not about any of those things. But what it is about is that there's going to be certain situations and certain ways that you choose to handle things for yourself that only you're going to believe in. Only you're going to see the vision. Only you're going to be the one that kind of knows what the drive is that goes behind it. And with that being said, you have to do things in your own way and at your own pace. But along with doing that, you have to have the results behind it. And so Slug Nation, the whole platform, what it is for me is my foray or my contribution into putting some of the things that I felt have always been inside of me and some of the capabilities that I've always had and some of the things that I've shown in jobs and quote unquote my career, actually putting that to a use that I can benefit from, and not only just monetarily, hopefully, not only just accomplishment wise, but also something that I can actually have for my children. Not that you can leave a YouTube page for your kids, right? I'm well aware of that, but the inspiration and the motivation and the drive that I think that it will put in the child, seeing that their parent actually tried to, pursue some of their dreams and some of the avenues that may be unorthodox that they felt like they could excel in, and just learning and letting them learn that that's a real possibility and it's something that you should put time and effort and energy into, especially with the life that we live, especially as a man. I'm going to have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. If I don't have my own business, then I'm doing that for the man, quote unquote. I'm doing that for some faceless, nameless, corporation who there may be some guy that signs the check, but it's not with my last name, And so if I'm doing that, then I'm doing that and I'm trying to excel, and that's great, right? And that's something that I've done for years now, right? And I don't regret working and having a 9-to-5, and definitely the key is to have a means to an end, right? And to be able to reach an end. But if you do have a certain thing about you where you want to create, you want to do something, but you want to do it your way. You want to do your own thing. You want to build something for yourself, and you're confident that whatever you do put out there, I could at least get back what I can get back from these jobs or these corporations that don't love me, that don't care about me, that don't even put me in a position to excel beyond what benefits them. And I guess that's the whole point of the platform, is to not only be authentic, be honest about who you are, your situations, where you're at, where you're trying to go, but also how to get there. That's one thing that I think is kind of missing on YouTube, where there's a lot of people who can tell you about their successes, and they can tell you to be like them or to do what they did. But if you're not them and you don't move in the way that they move and you don't move at the speed that they move, it's going to be hard for that information to truly resonate. And even if you say it does, on some level, you're kind of lying to yourself and you're trying to be somebody that ultimately you're not. The whole point of Slug Nation, is to do what you do, but do it in a way that makes it work for you. And to be honest about what it is that you like to do, where you like to invest your time, what your interests are, what you care about, what motivates you, what drives you, what is going to be the thing that actually drives you about a situation to reach the heights of it. And what it takes to do that, right? And even though it does have a somewhat self-deprecating, it's supposed to be ironic, right? But it's a little bit self-deprecating, but it's also self-promotion, right? So if I'm going to do things my way, and I'm going to do things in the way that works for me, and I'm going to do things and be judged for it by other people and be criticized, and ultimately I have to live on the results anyway, and I choose actively and willingly to do it a way that I see fit, that obviously is using intelligence, obviously is using foresight, obviously is using reality to be realistic about what you can do not to limit yourself, but to know how to reach the heights of it, right? And I think that's very important. I think that's something that, I had to learn for myself, just to be honest about, right? Just to give a little bit of background, like I said, my career path up until now has been in marketing and sales. Now, I did not graduate from college. I did go to college for a while, but I was fortunate enough to get a pretty good job while I was in college that, I made an executive decision to say, okay, I'm going to pursue this, and if nothing else, I could always come back. Now, that decision worked out for a good amount of time. That experience that I gained from making that decision then allowed me to take that knowledge and that base of information onto other opportunities in the future. But with all that being said and done, even though I can, go out right now and get a job that's decent, right? Like, it's not gonna really have the type of growth potential that I would want, right? And it's not gonna have the growth potential that's contingent on me being myself, right? It's gonna have to, I would have to code switch. I would have to put on a certain face, put on a certain vocabulary, speak to people a certain way, lower myself in certain situations, and just overall kind of be something that I only do when I get paid to do it, right? And at least up until now, I've been able to put myself in positions where I don't really have to answer to too many people, except for obviously the customers, the clients, whoever that may be. But I do have the autonomy to kind of do things my own way, right? And so with that being said, there is a limit to that, right? There's always a limit when you work in a corporate field, when you work in a structured environment. To reach certain heights, to reach certain successes, you're going to have to kind of toe the line. You're going to have to play the game. You're going to have to, what some people would call bitch up, right? But that's not something I do well. That's not something I enjoy doing. And that's not something I want to actually put myself in line to do for the rest of my life, right? In certain careers, certain career paths, certain jobs, the only way to excel is to do that. So you can have all the great qualities. You can be smart. You can be well-spoken. You can be, attractive. You can be charismatic. You can be all these different things. But if you're not doing and using those skills and those traits in a way that benefits someone else and has someone else's vision and goal and ultimate well-being in mind, how could you ever really feel, great about that? Especially if it's in you to do more, if you have the hunger for more, how can you be satisfied if you never get it, right? Your stomach's always going to be rumbling. The thirst is always going to be there. The regret, the I wisha, I coulda, all those different things. It even starts to breed hate for some people, right? Where you start to hate on other people who do their thing, right? There may be somebody right now who watches this video, and God forbid, like, I don't have any problem with anybody, and I don't like to solicit hate at all. But there's going to be people who hate on this video, right? And I understand that that's just part of the game and that's part of YouTube. But where that energy comes from is usually jealousy, right? And the only way you can be jealous is if you feel like you missed out on something. And I know, you can't have everything in life. You can't do everything. Every situation won't work out to your favor. Everything in a situation, even if it is what you want, it may not be in your favor, and you'll have to make concessions, right? But at least the things that you can control, at least the things that you choose for yourself, whether that be friends or partners or jobs or just other commitments that you make in life willfully, you want those things to be based off of your vision and what you want for yourself and what you want for your life, and where you think you can ultimately take things for yourself, versus working and being stuck only within the system that somebody else creates, right? And that's not to say I'm gonna quit, working, and I'm just gonna do YouTube and I'm gonna just throw life away, and in the sense of I'm gonna do what I want and that's it, right? That's not how shit works. And I wouldn't even expect to get the type of results I want if I took that approach, All right, but within the confines of me doing what I feel like I have to do, right? I'm going to identify and will properly identify and develop what I want to do in a way that I can profit from it, so I can tip that balance a little bit, right? And that's ultimately what the channel will be about: finding, the work, the work life balance, finding ways to be able to slug, quote unquote, as much as possible, enjoy your life as much as possible, vacation as much as possible, spend as much time with your children as possible, spend as much time with your family and your wife or your girlfriend, the people who make you happy, the people who make you smile, not feeling so tied to the different systems that we have to be tied to, right? But the more we balance our energy and where it goes, if nothing else, you'll feel like, I would imagine, and I hope to find out for myself, you would feel like you're getting more out of what you're putting out into the world and what you have to put out, and there's more return, there's more benefit, there's more, what's the word, right? There's more pride, I guess, in what you're doing, right? Not just for a living, right? But for happiness, for your children, for your children's future, for inspiration, for, just to tell your story, right? Damn, it's getting kind of long. I don't want this video to go too long. I'm gonna just try to drop this as it is. Whoever comes here, I mean, you see kind of where my mind is at. Like I said, I didn't write any script. Researching and kind of going into my YouTube journey, I've been heavy on research, right? This is the first video I've done, but I've done a lot of research. I've watched a lot of videos. I've read a few books. I've connected and contacted with people who are already successful within YouTube on just a behind the scenes level, right? And I've talked to them about my intentions. They gave me some tips and different things like that, and hopefully a lot of things that it'll be easy for me to build from, right? Like I said, this is where my background comes in. This is part of this is a big part of sales and obviously marketing, networking. And so I've done a lot of things like that. I've like I said, I've researched. I've kind of really took time to think and develop my own strategy. And I do feel very confident in it, right? Like, even I would say, even for a lot of people, just making a video like this, it's a lot, right? Like, for me, it was a lot. I usually have worked behind the scenes when I've done anything that is kind of in an entertainment oriented realm. And, I don't have any aspirations to be famous or be some type of superstar or anything like that. But I am confident in my personality. I am confident with, relating to people. And I think that's the part that kind of drives me more than any type of, wanting to be seen type thing. So having to put myself on camera, having to have my flaws, having to have my, insecurities on display, right, in a way, it is kind of something that you have to overcome. But just the fact that you do that, right, just the fact that I'm making this video as I go on, it does a lot, right? It does a lot to keep me going and keep me motivated. So if I could say that to anybody that watches this video that's thinking about doing their own thing, I recommend it, right? I recommend it for a lot of different reasons, right? And so, like I said, just to be as real and be as authentic as I can be. Another one of the reasons why I am looking to make a YouTube page is for a form of, release, right? An outlet for my thoughts, my ideas, my personality, different circumstances that go on right now. I don't really get to interact and deal with people on the levels and the ways that I would want to. And so this is a way to kind of translate and transfer some of that energy in a way, like I said before, that I can truly benefit from in the long term, and I can build with and off of. And I think that's how you have to think about things, right? That's, to me, when I think of being a top slug, right? When I say I'm the top slug, that's where that comes from, right? Even when I'm not doing shit, I'm just sitting in the car right now, right? Like, I had to go I had to take my son to school. It was his first day of school today. I had to drive where he's at and pick him up, drop him off early as hell, right? So I'm up early, 6 a.m., whatever it is. I drive. I'm here now. I don't want to just sit around, do nothing. And so I'm sitting around doing nothing, but now I'm making this video and I'm actually putting some energy into something that I hope that I can build from, right? And even though I'm doing it in a way that's comfortable for me, I'm doing it at a pace and at a level that works for me, where it's nothing. I'm making this video after I press stop. Like, I'm not gonna really the energy that I'm putting out is nothing, right? So that's what slugging is, right? You can do slugging in a lot of different ways, right? But the ultimate goal for me behind it is to be honest about taking that time. Some people would call it mental health. Some people would call it self-care. Some people would call it, just taking a break, right? But, a lot of times when you are looking for answers on how to be successful, how to get where you want to be, how to, get your dreams off, they tell you, go, 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 go. Do this, do that. If you're not working, you're being lazy. If you're not putting this amount of time in, if you're not putting this amount of energy in, you fucking up, right? Like, they tell you that. And like, for somebody who really, like, genuinely, right? Like, I'm not a lazy person. I'm not a unsuccessful person, right? I am a very motivated and driven individual in my own way. And if I'm being honest, when I hear some of that, like, I get it, right? I get it. But at least the way that it's being presented is just like, there's something missing, right? And I think that's what I've now thought of as maybe the angle that I can kind of fill in, or the gap that I can fill in, is that what's missing may be just that honesty and that authenticity, that it is big for you to stay motivated and have a great work ethic and all these different things. But let's be real, you need your time too, right? Your body needs its time, your mind needs its time, and if you don't take it willingly and actively and thoughtfully, it's going to be taken from you some way or another, right? Or you're going to burn yourself out, right? You're going to burn yourself the fuck out, however you do that. Because I've been there before as well, where I'm working, I'm going through things, I'm dealing with shit outside of work, and I'm just keeping my head to the pavement. And that's a good mentality to have, because it's only so much things should affect each other, but that shouldn't stop you from taking the time that you need for yourself. But the thing about taking the time that you need for yourself, when you have responsibilities, when you have people that you need to provide for and do things for, you can't be selfish about it, right? And so the key and what I want to do is identify that mentality and find a way to make it work, right? Find a way to make that benefit me, right? And I feel like on this channel, we'll go a lot of different places. We'll talk about a lot of different things. A lot of it will be based on my mind and my experience. I definitely want to get to the place where I can bring people on. I definitely want to get to the place where I can, interview people who are doing things for themselves, entrepreneurs, people with the entrepreneurial spirit, small business owners, sole proprietorships, people who have found ways to get jobs in fields that are unorthodox, right? And just things that help you get the most out of your time, things that help people know it's possible, right? And I'm trying to find out if it's possible for myself as well. And this video is long as hell, right? It's 23 minutes of me just sitting here talking shit. I hope my words are clear. I hope I'm articulating things the way I need to articulate them. Once again, I'm not getting paid right now, so I'm only going to be so formal or so professional. But that's part of what this is, right? We're going to be honest. We're going to live in our flaws. We're going to acknowledge them so we can be better from them. We're going to acknowledge our wants and our interests and the time that we need to recharge and regroup and mentally kind of format what we want to do. And we're going to make sure that we get the results and put the work in that we need to put in as well, so we can enjoy the time that we want to enjoy the way we want to enjoy it, right? So I think I'm going to make a few more videos today, just kind of going into some different things as far as like what I'm actually kind of starting off with. I would say right now with this, I just had the phone, right? I had the phone. I got a YouTube page that I made, and that's it. That's the only things that are relevant to this particular video. But later on today, I plan on making a video just showing what I have as far as like, right now I'm starting off with a few different, a few pieces of equipment, right? Very basic stuff that pretty much anybody can have, anybody can start with. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one channel for the actual content that I want to make and create and put out, and I'm going to really kind of put more effort into the editing and just the formatting and just the scripting of those things. But the channel, the Top Slug Sofa King channel, I think I'm going to keep that with a lot of the behind the scenes of the actual journey, right? The journey of creating a page for myself, creating a page for my son, working on the digital marketing, working on the algorithms, working on the production value. And as I build and as I grow and invest more time and money and energy into it, you'll get to see the results, and hopefully, if you're watching this now, you're one of the first people that watch it, you'll get to be a part of that, right? And if, there's any content creators out there who see this, or anybody else that I happen to connect with, and this message kind of resonates with you, definitely, holler at me, right? Like, I'm an open person. A big thing for me is to connect and to network outside of trying to get big and be profitable on YouTube. I'm also doing this to develop the skills that I need to be able to take the career portion of my life to higher heights, right? I need to learn about digital marketing. That's where the world is going. I need to learn about, how to push things on Instagram, Facebook, how to use YouTube, how to, obviously I need to connect with influencers. That would be beneficial as well. In the field that I'm in, right? Advertising, marketing, sales, different things. So, like I said, there's a lot of value I feel like I can get out of this journey and this process. And it's important for me, being who I am, to kind of give back in a way and show people what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Hopefully an authentic view of somebody who's doing this. A black man, a young professional. I'm not, super college educated. I'm not, I didn't come out the gate with a 6-figure job. I haven't even, I'll be honest, I haven't had a 6-figure job itself, in all the years of my life, right? Like, that's something to me that was a goal. It was a goal working in corporate America. But the way it works now, it's like you would think everybody's making that, right? Like, and when I go to look for jobs, yeah, like the jobs say you can make it, but like when I actually do the math and I do the science, nah, it's not like that, right? So I don't know if people are working under that same kind of paradigm where the numbers are inflated, but like I know for myself, I'm not gonna get to where I want to go solely working a job, right? 6 figures and beyond. Like, I'm not going to even have the potential, even if I did hit 6 figures, right? I wouldn't have the potential really to grow from there, and that's something that I've thought about, right? I've thought about, and I've really like kind of racked my brain on what can somebody do, right, to kind of benefit. Obviously, starting a business is the quote unquote simple thing, but unless you have a trade, unless you have a specialized skill, or you have a certain thing about you that, you're starting off with a leg up. That's, I could work my job for the rest, I could work a job for the next 3 years and make more than I would starting a business by far, right? But the thing that you get with starting a business is the potential to take that somewhere else. And so for me, being somebody who doesn't have any quote unquote hard skills in a way, all my skills are soft, interpersonal, like I said, networking, marketing, advertising, understanding people, things like that. Like, I can't I can't just turn around tomorrow and say, hey, I'm a consultant. I need $7,000 a session. I need, I need something to show, right? You need to prove your work, right? You need to show your work. And I think one thing, and I'll kind of start to end it on this because we're at 30 minutes, right? So one of the things as a man, as a black man, as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a, all these different things you can be. All these different things you can be, they're great, right? But they're empty. They're empty, and I hate to say this, they're empty without credibility, right? You need credibility in this world to get the results that you want. And the only way to achieve credibility, ironically enough, is to have results, right? And so you need to have results in the things that you do to be able to do the things that you want to do, to have the thoughts and opinion that you want to have, and for people to actually take it seriously. And the only way that you can do that as a black man, ironically, as a man in general, but I'll focus on the black man because that's my experience. The only way that you can do that, the only way they're ever going to say that you've done that, is that if you build something, right? If you build something that somebody can actually look at and see, listen to, hear, maybe reach out and touch even, that they can't deny, right? They can't find a way to hate on it. Well, no, you just got lucky, or you got that job because you kissed that person's ass, or you got that job because you got the cool with the boss, or even for a woman, right? They think, right? You got this job because you must have been fucking this person, or you got this opportunity because you show your ass, you show your body, right? You just got that because you're cute. You just got that, like, so people can hate. They can have all these different disqualifiers, right? They can try to disqualify you in all these different ways. But when you have something that you built, right, that is what you meant for it to be, that has not only maybe even achieved the success that you sought out when you started it, but gone beyond that, I mean, what can they say to you? You know what I mean? What can they really say to you? How can they can try to treat you a certain type of way, but at that point, it's SMD, KMA, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's something that, if nothing else, right, as a human being, as a young person, a millennial, or, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever you call yourself, we're at the time in life where you have the best opportunity, the most access, the most exposure, more than that's existed than ever, to be able to do those things. So if nothing else, right, try your hand so you won't have to live with the regret of not doing that, So like I said, I'll leave it there, man. Like, this is just kind of an introduction and a brief kind of glimpse into like my thoughts and kind of where I'm coming from. I just wanted to kind of put myself in a comfortable space and just speak openly and honestly and freely. People will, watch it. Hopefully I get big enough that people watch it and they critique and they looking at every little thing and they looking at my body language and they see in the background and all type of shit, right? And I think that people will just have to take it for what it is, right? And take it how they may. And this is my first introduction into and my first foray and my first kind of offering to this space, but it definitely won't be my last, right? I've been talking so long my phone is dying, so let me hurry up and stop this before it fucks up. Jay Haynes, Top Slug, Sofa King, out. Fuck with me, man.